When was the last time that you claimed that you were with Jahmil Mays in a romantic relationship?
Me and my husband have been in a romantic relationship since we began in 2005. The longest period of time that we've gone without intercourse, if that's what you're asking, is probably about 4 months, but we've continued to date. We go out weekly. While he was separated from me in the apartment, we would see each other weekly, talk to each other all the time, and we continued to date as we worked on our marriage.
Duly noted. I'm glad that you said that, and we want to make sure that is kept on record, Your Honor, as it relates to what she just said. So you continue to date weekly, right? Mm-hmm. During the time that he was in a relationship with me. Based on what you're saying, that would be the case, that there would be no separation at all. And you were romantically involved with him since September 7th, 2024 until today. Is that correct?
No, that's what you're saying.
Then clarify for the court, because you just said that you have weekly dates with him and that you have had no more than 4 months separation. And that would not add up because Jahmil and I have been together since September 7th, 2024. So clarify again.
Yes, my clarity is what I already said. I said we haven't been together in intercourse for 4 months. But he and I dated because we can date. We were separated. He had his thing on the side, which is more than one, and I also had something. But we were working on our marriage.
That's very interesting. You did file a domestic violence case against him, purporting that he used a gun, brandished the gun, and put it against your leg, correct? And this was just last year?
He did do that.
July 20th, 2024.
Correct, you're right about something, yes.
And you testified in a court of law on October 28th, 2024, that he did do these things, correct?
I did never testify against him.
Your Honor, I've entered the records in, the records are in the file. She and the 12-year-old daughter testified during that hearing.
We gave a statement. We did not testify. We never went in front of the judge to say anything verbally. We written it down, and that was prior to that date. What I did have is conversations with my lawyer.
Your Honor, if you would direct the witness to please just answer the questions and nothing else. Thank you. All right,
the court's going to sustain the objection. The witness is non-responsive. Ask a question.
So you all were in such a loving relationship during this time frame that you filed domestic violence charges against him in 2024, and then had your daughter also testify, albeit if you're claiming now, even though that's not truthful from the record in the court, that your daughter only wrote a statement. Is that correct?
No, my daughter didn't write anything.
Okay. Only you did? Only you wrote a statement?
Yes.
Okay. And that is witness testimony. During this time, from September 7th, 2024, until February 14th, 2025, how often were you with Jahmil Mays romantically?
What does this have to do with the DVPO?
Thank you.
It's for the credibility of the witness, Your Honor, with regards to the motivation for the falsified TRO and the falsified domestic violence complaint. As I've already mentioned, they are co-conspirators in this regard.
All right, so I'll let you go a little distance with impeaching the witness for bias, but I'm not going down a whole litany of who was dating who, when, where.
Correct. Okay, answer the question.
You have to repeat. It was coming back and forth. What was the question?
How often were you romantically with Jahmil Mays from September 7th, 2024 until February 14th, 2025?
I cannot remember. I don't count how many times and what month and
earlier you said weekly. Is that correct?
No, that was for dates. I hope that you can hear me. I said we went out Dates.
Okay, and that's romantic because a date is by
I
colloquialism is
specified
romantic.
intercourse. I specifically said if you're talking about intercourse.
Okay, so you went on weekly dates with Jahmil from September 7, 2024 until February 14, 2025.
And so just to clarify
Your
on that
Honor,
as
please
well.
ask her to answer the question, yes or no?
Just to clarify that as well, because in the event
Your
that I
Honor,
am
please ask her
busy.
to answer
All
the
right,
question.
stop. All right, so you can answer the question, yes or no, and then you can explain your answer.
Okay, yes.
Okay,
And my
thank you.
explanation is that in the event, because I'm a mother to 3 children, things don't always work out the way that we'd like them to. But in terms of a month time, yeah, we'll go out 3 and 4 times a month, which averages once a week.
Okay, and you knew that he was in a relationship, romantic relationship with me, correct?
Absolutely, he was
Duly noted, Your Honor.
separated.
That, again, for impeachability purposes here, we have character evidence of untruthfulness. We have character
Okay, so
evidence of
you
a
can
falsified.
say that's an argument and that's appropriate for your closing.
Duly noted.
Do you have a question?
I
for the
do. I
witness?
do have continued questions, Your Honor. On February 4th, when Jahmil had spoken with his daughter initially, and then ended the phone call with his daughter, and then you called him afterwards, correct?
Probably.
Yes.
It's not
And
common for us
you-
to speak.
And you stated that I took the phone from him. Were you physically in our presence?
No,
No. Okay. So you cannot testify in that regard.
I can testify what you told me.
All
Ask me
right,
that.
we'll ask your next question.
Thank you. And again, this lays towards untruthfulness, which is going to be
All right,
consistent,
so I don't
Your Honor.
need
Duly noted.
commentary from you. You ask the question, she
Yep.
answers, and you argue in closing.
Yes. The domestic violence complaint against your husband, it includes a no contact order between you and him, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And yet, well, Your Honor, for the sake of redundance, I know that you are very wise. You've already heard this again with the untruthfulness and the pattern of behavior. Okay. Why did you voluntarily dismiss your temporary restraining order complaint if it were valid?
Is that against you or him? Can you specify?
The one that would be material for this case would be the one that you filed against me. Why did you voluntarily dismiss your temporary restraining order against me if it were valid?
I spoke with one of my lawyers, and they told me that it's best for me to go under my husband and have him add me as a protected party because I was assaulted by you at his apartment.
Okay, and how do you claim that I assaulted you?
So when I was
Okay,
at the...
so what does this have to do with why we're here?
Because she's saying that she wants a protective order through him. quote
Well,
unquote.
she's not
course,
she's
right.
not a party to the order. Ask your next question.
Okay, duly noted. Thank you, Your Honor. And thank you, Your Honor. So I don't have to address certain things. That concludes my questions.
Anything else?
So, as far as the no contact, I have from the DA's office, Ms. Brittany N. Wilson,
You're supposed to ask me.
wanted to address, can I address the witness about the form that was given to the DA?
I'm sorry?
It's a form of me being able to contact and communicate with her and my daughter. Am I able to ask about that?
Briefly.
Okay.
Your Honor, I object to that because, of course,
Did you not ask her about that?
Right, and so then that would have been after. Well, I'll let duly noted.
Right.
Yeah, the
I'll make
documentation
sure
will
I
show.
understand. It sounded like from your questioning that you were impeaching her
Yep,
because there's a DVPO in place and he violated the order by having contact with her.
yes. On the date of February 14th, there was no affidavit for them to have contact with one another.
Okay, so yes, you can, yes,
That's why I wanted to make sure.
yes,
Thank Your
you
Honor.
can.
So, with this paperwork that I have here, when did you speak to the DA about this?
I've spoke to the DA about this at least 3 different times. The first time was at your court hearing on October 28th, when I expressed to them that I wanted to have communication with my husband, but I wanted to do it on my terms and when I was ready, when I worked with my children, because it was a very extraneous situation that we were going through. And so I recently went to the DA to get it in writing to show that, yes, we can communicate. It was all based on my preference, which I've already been giving you that. So everything that you were told or what was tried to make seem as me not being your wife and not being able to communicate with you, you were coerced. And it's
Now,
unfortunate.
legally, I had a relationship with Ms. Tigers McDade.
Mm-hmm.
She basically specified to me that I wouldn't be able to speak with you. Was it told to you that I couldn't communicate with you because of the communication or the advice that I got from my legal advisor from the ethical gatekeeper?
Yeah, when we would speak, when we would go out, you used to tell me quite often that she told you that you cannot speak with me, that we are not married, that I filed an absolute divorce, and I would say to you, well, how is it that she can tell you that and being a lawyer as well, when all she needs to do is research and pull up necessary documents to show and prove